Wingspan Asia is an expansion to the beloved game Wingspan, and it also works on its own merits. It stands on its own merits as a two-player game with components that can be combined, again, with the main game. So, you're gonna have, as the title says, this time we go to Asia, and so a big element, of course, is the new birds, and we all love the great art a wingspan, the unique representations of birds, the fun factoids at the bottom. So right there you have a lot of new cards with awesome birds that you can combine, of course, with the cards of Wingspan. And that's why this works as an expansion. But as we said, it also works as a two-player game. So what you find in this set is two boards, such as this one, which can also be used to play to combine with the main game and play with 6 or 7 players. It's called the flock mode. There is a method by which 2 players will play at the same time, but frankly I'm still worried about downtime, and so I'm not in any rush to try that method of play. So you have 2 boards. Again, you can use them for the flock variant of the mid-game, or you can use them for a 2-player game. And you may have noticed these guys, because this is the main difference in the duet mode that comes with Wingspan Asia. That is, we play as usual, we spend our cubes to perform actions. One of the actions may be to play a bird, and when we play a bird, spending resources and everything, and we place it in the corresponding environment, then we remove this token here. Again, you can see there is one on each space, and of course the other player will have the same thing, but just their tokens will be white instead of black. And once we have one of those tokens that we acquired by placing a bird on our board, then we place it on this other board here that is divided into 3 different environments and have symbols that indicate different types of nest, for example, different types of food, the direction that the beak of the bird is pointing towards, and the wingspan. Maybe less than 50 centimeters, more than 50 centimeters. So I'm gonna get to place my token in a space that matches some of the traits of the card that I placed. You may remember I placed it in water, so you'll have to be in this area. The bird that I selected has a nest of this type, so I could place my token here. This bird also eats rats, so is there a rat space in the water? I don't see it. Maybe there is, you'll see it. Wingspan, oh, this one is more than 50 centimeters, so actually I may also have a chance of putting it there instead. And it's facing left. The beak is facing left, so I could put it there. So sometimes I'll have several options. Of course, as the game progresses and the players will place their tokens in different positions, then my chances may narrow. So that's one of the biggest things, and as you may notice, as you place the tokens on that board, you may unlock, you see those icons, you may unlock special bonuses such as drawing an extra card, getting an egg there as well, getting a resource, food resource that'll die there. So that's pretty much the biggest change, that you're also playing this sort of mini game here, and you activate your pieces by playing birds on your main board. These tokens here, they're double-sided. Also, you have 6, so you will only use 4 each game, so you place them there randomly, both the tokens and the side that is up, and they will give you the conditions that you score at the end of the round. So, for example, at the end of round 1, in this configuration here, we check which player has the most of their tokens on nests. That player, suppose it's black, will get the most there, and the other player will get the least there. And so some cubes will be locked there, and so we have some extra points for a player at the end of the game. If there is a tie, the ties are friendly. The player who did not get the bonus at the end of the round becomes the first player next round and takes this fancy first player token. And if there is a tie, then the first player token switches. So the end of round bonus now, they're determined by things that happen on this other board here. As we said, this is the main change. You have a whole other mini game here, and again, a two-player game on its own. This version also comes with a dedicated solo automa, and the biggest difference from other kinds of solo AIs here is that you need rules to place tokens on the board that I showed you. The general idea is pretty simple. You take these two cards when you're playing against the AI. As you can see, you orient them so that you see the round facing you. So we place the cards in this orientation in round 1, and this other orientation in round 2. It's pretty clever. And then we got round 3 and 4. Now back to round 1. If I can do it. You place these two cards here, then you're gonna have automa cards that you will shuffle. You have bonus cards, so you choose or randomly determine one of them for the AI. You take your turn as normal, and then you take a turn for the automaton. You will simply check the section of the card that corresponds to the current round. Round 1, I'll look at that one. Round 2, pretty simple, and that will tell me what the AI does. For example, maybe the AI collects eggs, or a resource, or a card, or that symbol there. That means that the AI will take all the bird cards from the supply, those that are face up, that match the bonus card, and also will place a token. Now, how do you place a token? You will look at that symbol there, and will tell you which section of the board you start from. It's that symbol matches that one, so we start from the bottom right corner, and we move this way, going up. If that symbol there had been that one, we will start from there and check that. And so this first section, the section with the map, tells you where you start looking for a place to place the AI's token, and here that tells you what the AI token is looking for. For example, right now the AI token is looking for any kind of nest. You look at the matching symbol, any kind of nest in water. As simple as that. So we start from there and we look for the first nest that we find in the water area of, again, that board right there. Oh, I should have mentioned also why the heck do we do this? Why do we play this at a game here? Because it's worth points. Hello. Yeah, I mentioned that part. That we score end of round points, but another important thing is that at the end of the game you score 1 point for each token in your single largest group that is contiguous. So right now there will be 3 points. If I was just able to add that token there, that would be 5 points for me. These are the materials and the game options that you find in Wingspan Asia. Wingspan is another worthy family member in the sprawling family of Wingspan games and expansions. I like it very much. But then if you watch my videos, you should know that I like pretty much every aspect of the Wingspan franchise, so maybe that is not a surprise. But again, if you're a fan of the game, this is a solid thing to add to your collection. If you had this large group and you don't mind some downtime, maybe you can also consider trying the flock mode. Again, I'm not in any rush. To me, the biggest attractives are the new cards, just because of the beauty of the art, and the possibility of playing the game with the duet mode. See, in Wingspan, I really like the fact that you do things on your personal tableau, and then you play another mini game going around the wheel. And here, the mini game that you have in the duet mode is really nice. There's more depth to it than in with the side game of Wingspan. And I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed it. I'm playing quote unquote mini Go on the sides. I'm trying to trigger some bonuses, which are usually very nice. But most importantly, they are setting myself up to create a large group at the end of the game and possibly to block my opponent from doing that. So it's just a true legit mini game there, which again adds more complexity and subtlety to the decisions that I make about what cards I place on my tableau and when I activate them, because ultimately I may take a little detour to place a Waterbird with that requirement so I can put that token there before my opponent gets there, because that may have a large impact. So I really like that option. It's of course also quick to play because you only have 2 players, and for playing Wingspan with 2 players, this may just be my option to go from now on. The Automa method, the Automa AI is also very effective. So I'm happy. I'm definitely pleased with Wingspan Asia.